everyone. Welcome to another episode of Victory Point Labs. I'm Spencer. I'm joined today by Todd and Kevin, and we are alchemists playing in Materia Prima, designed by Florian Pfab and published by Peacock Tabletops. In Materia Prima, each player is playing as an alchemist, transmuting elements, fighting other players, and stealing their soul stones to be the first to get 25 wisdom points. The way you get points in this game is you can transmute a recipe, you can transmute a Philosopher stone, you can fulfill a secret quest, fight against other players, and improve your tower. It's a game where science and magic collide. I can't wait to see everybody's shots. And Todd, I'd love to see yours first.
All right, here's my shot.
Nice.
I love how you incorporated that with some natural elements.
I kind of immediately knew that I was gonna do something like this. I like my nature. It's just with the art style is very, I don't know, natural. It's natural, I guess, to me. The way he uses like yellows and greens in his artwork, which is solid, obviously. I did something like this with Tang Garden. I'm guessing you know how I'm doing this.
Did you shoot this inside?
I did shoot this inside, so the weather has been terrible. So it's been super rainy. I couldn't go outside. I really wanted to go outside. That was my plan. So I had to trash my kitchen table again. With the help of Batman Gotham City Chronicles.
Nice.
Because the box is so big, it's basically a second table. So I used the boxes to prop up the start of my landscape. And I also have behind the Batman stack there, I just threw a chair on the table to drape some more grass behind it. So if I had any background showing, it would still be like a natural green, as you can see.
Oh man.
My wife's plants have been taken control of. It was really just playing around. I knew kind of the base scene that I wanted to set. I didn't know the angle I wanted to take, because once you get all these plants in here, you can go from so many different directions, and every time you move, you're seeing something totally different. Mm-hmm. So I'm tweaking things, moving things around, and I just took a ton of shots and decided on my favorite one.
Nice. I was going to ask if your wife knew you were using her plants again, but then I realized she must have been shooting the behind the scenes for you.
Yeah. Yep. She did this time. She helped me. We used a little bit of smoke there as well.
I really like when you shoot these shots, because it honestly feels like it's just outdoors and you get kind of diffusing some sunlight, but I think you do a really nice job of capturing that natural light.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I never would have guessed that this was actually shot indoors. You do a bunch of photos outside, and I feel like a lot of photographers like to take games outside and kind of shoot in the wild, and I feel like you're really good at recreating the like natural looking environment, but in your home.
That's very kind of you. All right, that is my shot. Spencer, let's see yours.
All right, here we go.
Oh, that's cool.
That is really cool.
I bet you guys can't figure out how I made those things float.
You dropped them, right?
Yes, very strategically.
It's a cutout of wires.
Oh. I like the blue and the green in the background, and how you just illuminated that one guy in the front and everybody else is pretty dark. I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, I love this artwork. That's what drew me into this game, was the artwork. And then once I opened the box and you see these oversized hex tiles, those are very cool.
They are cool. And
I do really like the sandbox playability of this game. I'm just trying to figure everything out. And I had these colored plastic gels that I kind of ran through the scene. I had like an arc and like a wave, but they weren't picking up the light like I wanted them to. So eventually I had to do away with them. And again, even back then I was thinking, with the blue and the green gels. So there I am placing these guys. I had to keep lighting it. If you see the flashlight on there, is to get the depth of field preview, so I can make sure that all those little wires and stands were hidden behind each other. And cutting out the plastic I didn't use.
Oh.
But so there's that. and I was trying to put some towers in there, but I think the towers were getting a little too close to the characters in the frame, so I wound up putting some of the homunculi in there instead.
Well done.
I definitely understand an issue with you want to put like as many standees in there, but then it starts messing with your background and it just turns into like a fuzzy blob before you know it.
Exactly.
I didn't notice at first that the arch of characters, I didn't notice that they were kind of like going off into the background as much as they were. So like because my initial reaction was like you see the main guy and then there's the arch behind him, and it wasn't until seeing the behind the scenes that I was like, oh yeah, there is a little bit of depth in there. So I liked that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that was my photo. Kevin, let's see yours.
All right, here we go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that is pretty.
So this one, you mentioned the box, Spencer, and kind of going with the greens and blues of the box. And for me, the front cover has the logo with this big, thick yellow circle around it. And so I kind of had some inspiration from that, almost as if you're like looking through a portal.
Yeah.
And so that's what I decided to do in my photo.
Excellent. And
That's awesome.
that's like a terrain piece from somewhere else?
Yeah, so let me show you my behind the scenes. So first, I just set up the game, and I made sure that nothing was in the center because I knew the center was going to be something else, right? And so this was my just kind of base shot. And then this is actually a like kind of, you know, ruins of like some sort of castle or something that's made for a fish tank. So I don't know if you guys have looked into like fish tank accessories, but there's some pretty cool stuff out there that's pretty affordable. And so this I got for Christmas, and I got a bunch of these little fake trees as well, and some of that fake grass. And now normally you would have foam underneath the grass, and you would puncture the trees into it to hold them upright. But I just used sticky tack because I didn't want to puncture my grass. And so there was my secondary image. And so then I took a sparkler and I bent it and attached it to my drill. And I taped the button down so that all I had to do was pop it onto the battery and it would spin. And so then I captured a bunch of just long exposure shots of the sparkler spinning. So there's the sparkler shot. And then I just took...
Excellent.
Yeah, so I just took those elements and blended them together. I got rid of the reflections that you could see. I did some Photoshop work just getting rid of the sticky tack on the trees. And then popped it on top of the image there. But I wanted to make it look like it was not just overlaid on top of it. I didn't want it to be, you know, like I wanted it to look like it was really there. So I found that if I masked out the little characters, then it would kind of look like it was behind them and actually part of the image. So did a little bit of work getting rid of the sparkler, you know, and at the bottom, and then I added some shadowing just to make it look a little bit more realistic. Made the sparkler more yellow to match the cover, and so yeah, it looks like you're looking into a portal from kind of like this cartoony art style into real world, more natural image.
Pretty awesome.
I honestly thought that sparkle circle you had created in Photoshop.
Oh yeah,
but that you practically did that. That makes it so much better.
I was really trying to find a way to actually take that photo 100% in camera, but with the way the sparkler, I wanted the circle to be perfectly spherical. I didn't want it to be sloppy at all, so I wasn't going to do it by hand. And so I came up with the idea of just, you know, attaching it to my drill. All I did was take the sparkler and I just bent it and then stuck this end into the drill so that it could just spin. And it worked.
It's a great practical effect, and I like how you did that with the drill to think to do that.
Yeah, thanks.
For real, that's awesome.
And you are always giving us these great pointers with the little flashlights, and now with fish tank accessories. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah,
they're pre-painted.
They are. Some of them look really good.
Stuff.
For Christmas, I got like a little SpongeBob pineapple house, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to incorporate this into game photos, but it looks really cool.
Awesome.
We'll have to wait for that SpongeBob board game that we're going to shoot an episode of.
I'm sure there's probably a kid's game I could pick up and make it look way cooler than it actually is. Well, that is our episode of Materia Prima. Thank you so much for watching, and huge thank you to Peacock Tabletops for sending each of us a copy. Very cool game with some very cool artwork that really worked well with the photos that we took. So once again, thanks guys for watching. If you want to follow us on all the social media platforms, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You can find us anywhere. So please follow and subscribe and like all of the things that we're doing because, well, we like them and we want to share them with you. Our next episode is going to involve some community engagement. So if you own a copy of Ticket to Ride, it doesn't matter which edition, we're going to be incorporating some of the photos that you guys take of Ticket to Ride. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you guys in the next episode. I mean, I'm pretty happy with my image, but you guys might be like, ugh, he's proud of that? We'll see.
I promise you I won't think that.
You might think that, just don't say it.
All right, let me toss it to Todd.
Oh, that was it?
No, I'm just getting us queued up.
So casual.
All right, Todd. Oh, share your photo.
Thanks. All right. So, should we have Spencer?
Sure. We should have me.
Yeah. Let me go again in case that one is too weird.
All right, Todd. Let's see what you got. Now let me do it. I say that every time. I say that every time. I'm an Ellie.
Also, I already win, so you're gonna have to pass it to
Todd,
Kevin.
Sorry, guys.
Back to you, Todd. Let's look at that
I
photo
don't
again.
have two pictures.
All right, Spencer. Let's see what you got.